so glad then before we started recording today's podcast you were able to see one of my many, many talents, which is spotting merchandise taken from various hotels around the globe straight away.
Do you know what? If You Bet was still on the telly, do you remember that? And you get like really random challenges. I could do it with hotel carpets from my job. You could do it with nicked items.
Straight away when I walked in the living room, I was talking to Bec, and Bec's first question was asking me about the holiday and various things that I've been up to for the past couple of weeks, and we'll get onto that in a few moments' time. But without even missing a beat, I just straight away looked down to her feet and went, "Those slippers, they're from the Radisson, aren't they? You've been in the Radisson Hotel." She was like, yeah. I don't think it's
even a marking on them. It's not like they're branded.
No, I just know.
Just white slippers.
Because as someone that has spent a lot of time in hotels up and down the country and around the world, I know straight away when it comes to what were you saying, the thieving of the gifts?
Yeah.
That's the way you were putting it. I don't see it as thieving when you pinch stuff like that from a hotel, though, because they're just in a little plastic wrapping thing anyway, aren't they?
Yeah.
They probably get thrown away.
It's not like it's the dressing gown or anything.
No,
I think they expect stuff like slippers. I've got about 10 pairs of them, though. So.
I've never pinched a dressing gown, but I've not stayed in many places where they've offered the complimentary dressing gown.
Have you not? Oh, you don't stay in the good ones then, do you?
Travel Lodge, Holiday Inn, Ibis Budget, all the glam places. Saying that, you're lucky to get bloody soap in the Ibis Budget. But yeah, straight away I was onto that, and I could see the hotel where I've been, by the way, where I've just come back from an Ibiza. I didn't get any freebies at all.
Nothing?
No.
Not even like a body wash or
well, there was that, but
I
I weren't going to waste me extra kilos.
What, do you not take? Oh God, do you not take like shower caps and the little sewing kits?
No, there was no shower cap there. There was the little soap things, but I used a lot of them while I was there. Especially this time of the year with the old baggage thing, if you're slightly over straight away, especially over in Blum and Ibiza, they're like, you pay euros, you pay more euros. So like, I can't be bothered with that one, and having the indignity of getting rid of stuff and being in a queue with loads of people watching me and they can see all the stuff that I pinched from the hotel. So I'll normally take the odd towel as well. That's the other thing. If I see a decent towel, I'll go, oh, I'll have that.
Yeah, how do you even get them in your... I must take too much stuff. I don't think I allow enough space in my baggage to steal good stuff.
All I packed when I went away this time, and it was probably the lightest I've travelled. I was in Ibiza for 7 days in total, was just 7 t-shirts, 7 pairs of shorts and sandals. I'm really, really struggling at the moment to actually...
No socks to go with your sandals?
No, none whatsoever. I was full Don Johnson. No, seriously, I wasn't walking around in a white suit with no socks. Just t-shirts and shorts. But I found it really hard the last 24 hours since I've been back to actually get used to wearing clothes again, like pants and stuff.
Yeah.
It feels weird on my legs. And what's annoying is, as we record this, it's a Sunday afternoon. It's glorious sunshine outside. Now, normally I would have the shorts and t-shirt on, but I've got none left. They're all in the wash.
And of course, you couldn't do it last night because you got back. You weren't even back 15 minutes and you were back out on the lash.
Oh, yeah. It was, because normally we do record this podcast first thing in the morning. We're recording it though on a Sunday afternoon because, as I said to Bec, I wasn't feeling too clever this morning. Because, as I said yesterday, I got back from Ibiza. My plan was to get back from Ibiza at 2:15, be from Manchester to my house for around about 3:15, and then be in the pub for 4. But because of a bloody flight being delayed, I didn't manage to make it until, I think it was 5:20. But I got out, literally ran in the house, put a shirt on, I was back out, and I was in Liverpool city centre. It got though to about 11:30, and the guy who I know listens to the show, Sean, will attest to this one, gets around about 25 to 12, and I was dead on my feet. He's going, come on, let's go, we'll dance, we'll do this and that. I'm like, Sean, I'm going to fall asleep standing up.
Let's go to a dodgy 70s bar where you can fall over and entertain everyone.
Well, he was the one I was with when I felt, I had that again. Should we go, make your return? You can make your return. After what happened, I'm like, Sean, I don't want to go back to bloody 70s bar. I nearly died last time.
The big question from your holiday, though, that I haven't actually asked you, how did you get on with your back hair?
Do you want to see?
Did you remove it? I don't know if I want to be... I'm getting a bit perturbed how many times you take your shirt off in this room.
You're going to think... I tell you one thing, what you will be impressed by, though, is my ridiculous crap tan.
Oh, that's a bit red.
I'm blotchy, aren't I? But look, that's not what you're here to see.
No.
It's gone.
It's growing back.
I know, well...
You've got stubble.
It has been 7 days. But yeah, I managed to get rid of it.
That wasn't waxed.
That was, the main question that we were getting last week. No, it wasn't waxed. That was the main thing. I think people were thinking to themselves that I ducked out of last week's podcast because there was a possibility that I was going to be waxed by you. But at some point, we will do the waxing.
Definitely. That needs to grow a lot more, though.
Bec, I had to get that hacked away. It was so difficult trying to do it myself that I needed assistance with it.
The amount of razors you couldn't do that yourself.
I went through about 3 razors with it. It was like, And a couple of people did say to me, why don't you just go and get it waxed? I'm a bloke, I don't get waxed. I chop away.
It sounds like me
Rambo.
sounds like my legs after winter.
But when it grows back, which it will, Wolf Boy will be waxed, and I'll make sure that I do it on this podcast so you can hear the screams. But I tell you one thing, actually, talking of screams, I thought I was going to get killed around about Thursday when I was on holiday by someone, because I got collared by a big burly Spanish guy, right, just outside the sauna in the gym, taking pictures of his bum bag. He wasn't happy at all.
Was he wearing it?
No, he wasn't. That would have been a bit strange. But what was weird was the fact that afterwards, because, you know, we were talking about this a few weeks ago on the podcast when I noticed that Bumbag seemed to be back in fashion. I saw people walking around wearing them in Liverpool city centre. So I asked the question. I did it on a radio show that I was doing. Everyone got in touch saying it's to do with the Jenners. But the thing is this guy, I don't think he was inspired by the Kardashians and the Jenners.
You never know.
Bloke in his foot, like a big Spanish guy in his 40s. But anyway, I saw him walk in the gym. I was like, fucking hell, has he got a bum bag on there? Then anyway, he walked down there, because it was like the gym was in one section, and then there was a little aisle under which led to the sauna.
Yeah.
So he walked off, and I know he'd gone in the sauna. So before he went into the sauna, I thought, I'm going to get a picture of this. But I had to go in the sauna myself. So I walk over there, and here we go. Although it looks like weirdly like some sort of like thong or something, doesn't it?
Yes. Are you sure that's a bum bag?
No, it definitely is a bum bag. So I thought, right, I'll have a little sneaky picture. Hang on,
that's true. So he's just left his bum bag on a chair and then gone into a sauna.
Yeah. But the thing is, I was leaving my phone and my gear underneath the bum bag when I went in afterwards. So anyway, I thought, right, he's in there now. I'll get a snap of it because I want to talk about it on the podcast, and I'll show it to you as well. So anyway, I snapped the picture, and you know, you can just feel someone looking at you, because it was only me and this fella in the gym. I just peered to the right and looked, and I thought, oh my God, there's a little window in the sauna, and I could just see him looking through going, I was like, oh no. So then I'm like, taking my gear off to go into the sauna. Hola. He just looked at me and went, hola. I was thinking, and I'm looking at the sand timer thing as it's ticking away, thinking, please don't kill me. Imagine that, like. Bec, we won't be able to do this week's show. Why? I'm still in Ibiza. I'm in hospital. I've been beaten to death by a man over his bum bag. But you could see he was dying to ask me why I was taking the picture.
I'm not surprised. It's not the normal thing for people to do. It's fair enough, nick it.
No.
You know, not take a picture of it.
He's probably now, you never know, he might have some podcast in Spanish somewhere. He's talking about this right now himself. And a strange English boy walk in and take a picture of Bumbag. That's how they all speak, by the way, while they're over there. That's one thing I learned. I was like, you know what, like, I really do need to, because I've got to start becoming more tolerant of other people's cultures. I need to start learning the language of these places that I go to, because I just got the basics when it comes to Spanish. Hola, gracias.
Dos cervezas?
No, I don't even know what you're talking about.
2 beers?
That what it says?
Dos cervezas?
Well, I speak the universal language of Hulk Hogan when I go away, and it always works for me. I just call everyone brother. So I go, this is my introduction. Even about a few days in, he was like, the brother man. That's how he spoke to barman. No, because so I go in, hola, right, there we go, I've got the introduction, they go, hola back, I go, 2 beers, brother, because I was always doubling up on my beers.
Yeah.
She's like, 2 beers, brother? I'm going, no, 2 beers, brother. Brother beers? No, you brother, 2 beers. Oh my God. And then the other one was when I went up to the cocktail bar. I think, God, this was another freaking great moment. When I was I'm trying to be a smart ass with the bar girl. She doesn't speak a word of English. It was just a car crash all over. Some woman from Sunderland, I think she was, like, she was definitely northeast. But in the end, just said, just give him the glass of champagne. Basically, so I go in and I go, hola. She's like, hola. She got the feminine voice.
Well done.
I can't say brother, so I have to say sister to her.
Oh, wow.
No, I didn't call her sister. It was a beer, 1 beer. She's like, yeah. And I have champagne cocktail, but without all that stuff that you put in it, and just the champagne. She went, what?
Could you have made that more complicated for her?
I'm going, I just have the champagne. So that was my clever way of getting a glass of champagne without paying for it. I thought, because the cocktails were free, it was all inclusive. She went, champagne? I'm going, the champagne cocktail, just without all the bits that you throw in. And the woman just steps in and goes, he just wants a glass of champagne. He goes, okay. I was like, took me drinks and walked away. So I'm going to go back to the brother man. He never questions me. He looks at me confused.
I can't believe you can't even say beers. That's
so come on, what was it again?
Dos cervezas.
Dos cervezas.
Cervezas.
Dos cervezas.
So dos is 2.
Yeah, right, okay.
And then cerveza is beer.
Is that like, that's
Uno,
no,
dos,
1, 2, 3,
tres, 4, 5.
Oh, that's too complicated for me.
7, 8, 9, 10.
What the fucking hell have
1
you
to
just said
10.
to me?
That was 1 to
Oh,
10
was
in
it?
Spanish.
Right, I'm
I
confused.
got an A in Spanish.
Why didn't you tell me all this before I went away? You knew I was going over there.
Well, I just assumed that you might have some basic grasp of the language, you know?
Hola, 2 beers, brother, gracias. With the thumbs up as well, the double thumbs up. So yeah, there you go. There's the trials and tribulations of my last 7 days. How's your week been?
A lot less eventful, to be perfectly honest. Although we need to have a moment and say farewell to one of my favourite gadgets.
What's that? Oh, you know what? I'm glad you've mentioned that. The fidget spinner. Because they were, you know, the guys on the, what are they called? The Lucky Man.
Lucky Luckies.
Yeah, why are they called the Lucky Man, by the way?
Lucky. Come and have a look.
Oh, I thought it was like some sort of like, you buy something off them and you get good luck. I don't know.
Rub the Buddha's belly.
I didn't want to ask him. I have enough trouble ordering a beer. Hola, brother, Lucky Man. Why are you called Lucky Man?
It's come and have a look.
Is that what it is?
Lucky.
But that's what they were doing with them. They were like literally coaxing people in. I watched them do it. They were like, so, people walk past and you hear that, do the spin. And then they go, come. And I was like, I don't want your fidget spinner.
Well, I learned that I was back home and I went back up for Father's Day. Spent a rock and roll morning looking around a car boot sale. But I was under strict orders off my nephew to come back with a fidget spinner because he only had about 5. So he wanted a different one. He wanted a metal one. So got him, took it back. I have since now been informed by the 2 people who were the most coolest people I know, which is my niece and my nephew, that fidget spinners are
definitely not me then.
Most definitely not you. Fidget spinners have gone. They're on the way out.
Well, they've only just appeared on the scene, haven't they?
They've been replaced by the Fidget Cube.
And what the hell's that? Does that
The
spin
Fidget
as well?
Cube, it's got a spinny bit on it. Let me show you a picture of this Fidget Cube. I've just ordered one.
How much was that?
You'd be surprised. It was a £5.
That looks like a...
So it's like a bigger dice, but it's not huge. I think they're about 3 centimetres, 2.5, 3 centimetres cube.
Looks like a mini toaster or something.
There's different things on each side of it. So that top bit there, that's like a light switch.
Yeah.
How nice is that going to be? Just sit flicking like a light switch.
Does anything come on when you switch the light, or is it like
no, because it's not a proper light switch.
I thought it might have a little bulb or something.
It's nice,
right,
so
okay.
isn't it? It's to keep your hands entertained. And then these are like little gears, so you can move them round, and that little ball there goes in and out.
Is there anything that spins on there?
There is a spinner bit on it. There's a rolling ball, a small joystick, a spinning disc, a rubbing stone, and 5 buttons. So you just get to press and click, and it's all different sensors. I can't wait for that to turn up.
People's attention span's that bad that they can't just concentrate on doing something without having to fidget around or mess with something these days.
Yeah, clearly.
It's like, because I never noticed them things at all until we talked about it about 5 or 6 episodes ago. And then the minute you got that thing out and started spinning it round, even my little daughter walked past me with one. I'm like, what the? So I just don't notice these things going on around me. But so, well, all right, well, we're ahead of the curve there, then, aren't we?
Fidget Cube, you've heard it here first.
I don't think I saw Mr. Lucky selling any of them. But again, if I'd have known about it, I maybe could have asked him.
You could buy a load and become the Lucky Man and sell them, and you make a fortune.
I could have done, yeah. But unfortunately, I've missed that boat now, haven't I? That ship sailed when I got on that plane back to Wetherspoons a couple of days ago. I tell you what, talking of sort of not being cool and feeling a little bit old, I retweeted it out, by the way. You can check it out. In fact, I'll play a little clip for you now. So where did it all begin for you then? Where did the musical journey start? When was it you realised to yourself that this is what I want to do?
One of the most significant memories that I've got is my dad brought me up since I was quite young, and he said to me this one year, he says, look, I've not got much money, but we can go on holiday to Tenerife and camp, or we can go down to the south of England, travel through all the lovely towns, and we'll go to as many gigs as we can, but we'll probably need to sleep in the car some nights. So I was like, well, that just sounds like an adventure. So the first gig we hit was Hyde Park, and the Who were playing there, and I was just remember watching them and thinking, that is just got to be the best feeling in the world, you know. And I decided that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to play in front of thousands of people. And it's quite funny because a few weeks ago my manager phoned me and he says, have you ever been to Hyde Park? And I told him that story, and he was like, great, because you're going to be playing with the Killers in a few weeks' time.
So there we go, there's the dulcet tones of the lovable Scotsman. I didn't call him that when I was there doing the interview. So there's Callum. Callum BT, but he's just done Glastonbury. He's just completed his UK tour, and that was me talking to him at the end of that UK tour. And this weekend, he's actually going to be performing on the bill, same bill as the Killers, their headline in Hyde Park. I think it's this weekend or the weekend after, but he's one of the support acts. So he's doing big things at the moment. You can check out all his stuff right now on iTunes and wherever you download records and YouTube and Vivo, and I don't know where all the cool kids go for the music. You'll find them there. But anyway, when I went to do that interview, I realised it was one of the, you have one of the moments where you do feel really old.
Yes.
There was a bit on that interview, and if you check out the Twitter feed at @chasing_40, I tweeted it out last weekend while we were away, so you can hear the full interview if you want to listen to it. But I was chatting about the last time that I'd been in that studio. He said, "Oh, you've not been here for a while?" I was like, I said, "No, it's thinking back. Last time I was actually in here, now where we're sat, it was for the launch of Cast's album back in, I think it was 1999. Yeah, it was all 1999. And I remember it well because I had to then cut short the event because it was all going off. It was great, loads of free beers and all that. But I had to cut it short because I had to leave to go back to the studio to interview Fats and Small, who'd just gone to number one. And he looked at me like, "What the fucking hell are you talking about?" He went,
Who?
Yeah. He went, 99, it's a long time ago that. 18 years. I went, "Yeah." He went, "I was in school."
Oh, wow. Cheers, Callum.
Beforehand, I was chatting, but I ended up spending more time talking to his PR, the record person girl, Jackie, who I hadn't seen since, I think, back round about the late 1990s. So we're chatting away beforehand, before the interview, about all these bands she used to bring to a radio station that I worked at over in Liverpool, all from the 1990s, all these obscure acts. And he just sat there looking, going, "Oh my God, this is like embarrassing mum and dad moment, this."
It's like visiting me gran in the nursing home.
So I'm going, yeah. So, you come to Liverpool. So obviously when people come to Liverpool, and I'm genuinely interested how people get into music and their influences. I'm stood there in my Beatles t-shirt, which again, if you check out the link that we tweeted out, you'll see that the picture of me in the Beatles t-shirt with Callum looking like his dad. So I'm expecting him to come back to me going, "Yeah, I'm a big Beatles fan." I'm forgetting he's like in his early 20s.
Yeah.
He goes, "Well, it's Stereophonics mainly." We're like, "Oh, it's Stereophonics. I was chatting to them last year." And then I started going, funny enough, again, like in the 1990s, back at the Metro Apollo, when we first caught up with them. This is before Stuart Cable died as well, by the way. You're just looking at me going, "What are you talking about?" I was going, when I went there to interview them, we did it on a cassette machine, cassette player, cassette tape. And then last year at Cardiff City Stadium, we were all laughing about it because it was on a phone. He's looking at me going, talking about...
Can someone help?
But you have one of the moments I'm chatting to him and I'm thinking to myself, he's looking at me going, "Who is this bloke turning up with his tight-fitting Beatles t-shirts, pretending he's in his early 20s, reliving the glory days?" But yeah, it was... so anyway, I had a bit of a moment when I was doing that. I think I'll go back to interviewing people like Erasure.
Yeah. Safe ground.
And go west. I can't hang with these new kids. I get exposed too easy. Did you see it was the anniversary of Harry Potter? Talking about interviews.
20 years?
Is that so? 20 years since the first film came out?
No, it's the book, isn't it?
Is it the book, is it?
Yeah.
So it was 20 years since the first time that we actually saw Harry Potter grace the shelves, the bookshelves.
Yeah.
I have still, in those 20 years, I have still not read one of the books or watched one of the films.
Get out.
Oh, you are a massive Potter fan, aren't you?
Just leave now.
The thing is when I
can't even talk to you anymore.
No, and I've interviewed a couple of people from the Harry Potter films, Neville Longbottom, Matthew Lewis being one of them, who's a lovely, lovely guy. And I even remember, and this was like going back blooming heck, it was when I think one of the last movies come out. It was either the one before the last one or I'm not too sure. It was a good 7-8 years ago now. I remember chatting to him, and when I told him that, he was like, I thought... Listening back to it, I'm thinking he must have thought, what an arrogant prick he is. I've not seen Harry Potter, but I legitimately hadn't. But I had him describing the movie for me. I'm saying, why should I watch it? Like, you could hear him again wanting to say, because like everyone's seen it.
Yeah,
That's why. But no, I've never seen it. But the thing is, as well, with Harry Potter, I've never read the book, never seen the film. Right, spoken to a couple of the cast members, interviewed them. I've actually been on the sets because it's down in Watford.
Yeah.
Have you seen it? The Warner Brothers thing. Still haven't seen the film though.
I don't even know how it's possible, even by accident, not to see that.
I know it's on all the time on the likes of ITV4.
He started it again yesterday.
Yeah, but I I'm like, I don't watch TV, do I? I barely got time to blooming do anything these days.
Do you want me to give you the DVDs?
What one would you suggest to start with? The
Number
first
one,
or
clearly.
what's the best one? I know what happens. Doesn't he have a fight with the bald fella, and then the sheriff of Nottingham ends up dying? Well, actually, that was in real life. Who's the bald fella?
Voldemort.
Is he? That his name?
He who shall not be named.
I know. Doesn't he have a fight with him at the end?
Yes.
And what happens? Does he kill him?
I'm not telling you.
Oh, just tell me.
No, you've got to watch them.
Yeah, I reckon he does.
You're going to have to watch. I want you to watch one a week, and we'll do a Harry Potter quiz every week.
Beck, I'm telling you now, I'll be lucky if I can watch the trailer. Schedule I've got right now.
Honestly, I'm the biggest Harry Potter fan in the world. I adore them.
It was quite impressive though when I did go to the sets walking around it, but there was a moment where I was sat there and I was just like, because it was a bit tiring as well. It was a blooming hot day, and some woman come and sat next to me. It was in, I think, what's the fella with the beard, the wizard? What's his name?
Dumbledore,
right? Yeah, it was just in front of the set for his little house where he lives. Looks like a castle or something.
Hogwarts.
Yeah, but
that's the school.
Well, anyway, right.
That's not his little house. That's like.
Well, I was just outside. What's his name again?
Dumbledore,
Dumbledore, whatever his name is. So I was just outside his office and looking at all his wizard capes and his whatever. Does he fly and stuff?
No.
All right. So I thought he might have been some sort of Superman.
He had a pet phoenix.
And so, pet phoenix. Oh, I met Harry Potter's pet. I'll move on to that in a minute. But some woman sat next to me and she went, "That's a lot to take in, isn't it?" And I said, I'll be honest with you, love. I've got no idea what's going on here. So I went with someone. So it's like, what? I said, I've never seen one of the films, and even she had that sort of disgusted look on my face. But yeah, talking of pets, I met the owl.
Hedwig.
Yeah, Hedwig. I think I get the impression there's quite a few Hedwigs, but it was the owl. I'll put a picture up as well so you can check this out, because at the time, and which I was furious about, so I probably don't look too happy on this picture, because I was drinking this thing called butterbeer.
Yes.
Which I thought was actual beer.
No.
So I'm like, oh yeah, 2 beers, brother. Wizard boy. two of the beers. So I'm like, knocking this, and then someone said, "Oh, do you want to get your picture taken with the owl?" I was like, "What owl?" It's Harry Potter's got a pet owl. I was like,
my days.
So literally, I get my picture taken, and you can see this is the point. Just before I get the picture taken, I was like, "What percentage is this?" Like it's no percentage. It's just called butterbeer. I was like, "Oh, for God's sake!" I just walked all around this. I thought I got a free pint of lager at the end of it. So anyway, I've got in that hand there the butterbeer, and then I'm doing a little point to Hedwig, who's sat on the. What's the road sign? Privet Road or something?
Yeah, Privet Drive.
Privet Drive, there you go, outside his house.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I'll show you.
Do you know what? It's all wasted on you, and I would love to go to Harry Potter World and no one will come with me. I would just cry if I was there and you've just taken it all for granted. I'm so full of anger. I just want to weep right now.
Well, it's like, have you watched all the Rocky films?
Yes.
All right, you got me on that one.
I mean, I don't live and breathe it.
That was my whole argument. That was my whole argument. God, you win. Let me see if I can get the pictures. And we'll put, if you check out at Chasing_40 now, you'll be able to see some of them. We'll post some of them right now. And there's me looking all moody in the cafeteria. That's where they all have their food, isn't it?
Is it the Great Hall?
Yeah, I think. Well.
Oh yeah, I couldn't say, it was a bit dark, isn't it? Yeah, that's the Great Hall. That's not the cafeteria or a factory. It's the Great Hall, and it has a bewitched sky, a bewitched ceiling.
You know what? I can see the sort of scorn in Bec's eyes at the moment, so I think we should sort of move away from Harry Potter before she knifes me over this. I tell you what, because I know obviously you had that big setback, didn't you, with Bros?
Yes.
Has there been any more news, by the way, on that being rescheduled?
No, but I'm just getting really... Well, I got really annoyed because they were mentioned on some TV programme last week, and they were saying, oh, but, and they've got gigs coming up in Manchester, and I nearly put my foot through the telly because I was like, no, they haven't! They haven't! And then... I don't know, there was just loads of Instagram pages like Bros Reunion and stuff, and they're putting all pictures.
Isn't there any chance of you getting tickets to go and see them in... Because they're doing London still, aren't they?
Yeah.
Those 2 gigs are happening. Is there any chance of... Have you looked to see if there's any availability for that?
It's so expensive to go to London. I shouldn't have to. They should come to me.
Yeah, well,
just performing here.
I think this could be the end of a beautiful relationship here. I think
I have toyed with unfriending him on Twitter, unfollowing him on Twitter.
Well, that's straight away.
I know.
It's all over. If that happens, it's game over. The thing is then, because you've had that setback, maybe because it's obviously you got your 40th coming up soon, haven't you? So
can I 5 months and 7 days.
We're into July now. I can't believe that.
That's all I've got left. I'm doomed.
Well, anyway, what maybe we'll do is we can end the year with a trip to Watford. Me and you will get in the car and we'll drive down to Watford, and you can educate me as we walk around Harry Potter land. Because I think the train's there now as well. So that's there now. So the train. You know what? I think we should end this, by the way, because I'm just insulting Harry Potter fans worldwide. We put tags on these podcasts. I know sometimes people will find us that way. They'll go, oh, someone's talking about Harry Potter, or they're talking about this and that. So I'm pretty sure right now there's a Harry Potter fan who's gone, oh, they're talking about Harry Potter on this podcast. Well, have a little listen to it. And they'll be punching the radio or whatever they're listening to right now.
Do you know what, right, random fact, my only ever trip to Preston was because of Harry Potter. A friend of mine's son wanted a Slytherin hat when one of the first films had just come out, and the only place, Slytherin's one of the houses, you know, at school you have your different house groups, well they have 4. So there's Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, Gryffindor, or Slytherin.
Hufflepuff?
Yes! No one really wants to be in Hufflepuff, to be fair. Well, you want to be in Gryffindor.
Is that the one where Harry's in?
Yeah, cause that's full of the goodies. And the baddies, there's not a wizard or witch who hasn't gone bad who wasn't in Slytherin, let me tell you. So Slytherin's like the one where Malfoy, Draco Malfoy's in. That's kind of all of the baddies have been in that one.
Didn't he play for Chelsea?
It's wasted on you, isn't it?
What I might do is then, because we're going to end this week's podcast now, I might go away and do a bit of research on Harry Potter and have a little watch of it, and then I'll come back. I'll see if I can find time to watch one of the Potter movies, and I can come back and give a review. Good. My thoughts on Harry Potter. Yes. There we go. We'll set that challenge then for a podcast. Maybe if not next week, the week after.
Or maybe the week after.
Or the week after. At some point, I will sit down. I will try and watch some Harry Potter. Then I'll come back and hopefully I'll be a bit more educated, and you can maybe ask me some questions.
Quiz time.
We'll have a Who Wants to Be a Potter Millionaire? No, that just sounds crap, doesn't it? Yeah. You Potter Bet. Look at me going through all these 90s game shows. No, it doesn't work either.
Back to the 90s we go.
Wheel of Potter. There we go. I knew I'd get there.
I'm going to build one.
Right, thank you very much for listening this week. Episode 17 done and dusted there. If you want to check out all the previous ones, you can do. Available right now on YouTube, Channel 29. You can go on SoundCloud, you can find us there. Or you can subscribe via iTunes. Leave us a review on there as well. All the previous episodes are available right now on demand for you to download. Have a great week, and we'll catch up with you next time.